Jesus freak here. Ugh. I was gonna go out around, 8:30, quarter to 9 this morning. And here it is, almost quarter to 1. Just didn't have the stamina to do anything. It's like, well, let's start with a rough idea of how I gotta split up my check for the month. And then, just a few minutes ago, I'm like, let's take this rough idea and bash it out a bit more. What would be, what's the amount I have to push over, for online purchases or paying stuff online. As, for example, I do with the internet bill. And for what I really need money now, rent, power, which I get the power bill with me. And I said, you know what? Let's shift as much as I can this month. Reasonably for would have to be handled offline. That way, I won't feel so badly pinched about stuff I have to deal with offline while I set aside a lot of money towards trying to move. It's like, I gotta set aside $100 now and then. But $100 is, it's a big amount of money for me. But it's like, I got it under control. I've had people be surprised at, how well I can pinch a penny. It's, it's just how I grew up, I don't have a lot of money to work with. You learn how to deal with it. You know how to stretch it. And, he said, there's a few ways I can deal with this. I gotta pause recording because my shoe came undone. But, it's like, I can limit myself to what I can walk home with. I can see if my friend can drive me home twice, this afternoon and then on Monday or Tuesday. Or I could just take the path of least resistance and drop $9 in a cab. It's like, do I ever want to rely on that? No. It's like, if you keep using people, you're going to use them up. And I don't want to use people up. She insists I'm not, but let's be honest here, huh? I don't want to ask too many favors, even if, it is benefiting them too. And I'm like, you know what? Well, I don't have too many other things. I can avail myself of a ride, and I can buy heavier stuff. I can buy, larger bag of cat food. I've been buying small bags. And it's been, tide me over about a month. But
Portage Road.
It's obviously, it's not the ideal thing to do, to buy the smallest bag of cat food. Because unit price factors in, well, the more expensive ones are going to be cheaper overall. You get more for your money. I wanted to wait until later, actually, instead of coming out at like 1:45, because by this point, we're at the heat of the day, and it's still summer. But not that bad out. A little too bright. There's a little bit of a breeze. It's tolerable. I think when I blamed my messed up senses on infection rather than on something like COVID, I think I'm right. Because for a couple days there was there was something against my gum, that abscess. So it's like, yeah, that's probably related to what the problem was, because the problem isn't as bad now. I mean, yeah, it's still not perfect. I'm hoping, from what I can tell, it's gonna start cooling off a little bit and be more tolerable. It's cooler downstairs. Outside, it's gonna be cooler upstairs. Anyway, Jesus freak out.